Hey again, guys. Can you just let me know if you can hear me, please? I'm rubbish at these lives. I'm always getting into issues. I just wanted to go and have a coffee. And I had coffee. And then my camera stopped working. And my microphone. Thanks for joining back in. So, because this is another live, I'm going to give my disclaimer again. What I'm going to carry on reading from my previous live is found in the public domain, so you can easily find it. It's not something that I came up with. This is just to cover myself legally. And the information that I'm going to read is taken from Jerry Mccann's blogs.co.uk. Oh, the quality of this camera is completely rubbish now. Is anybody there who can tell me if you can hear me? Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of minutes so you can join this new stream. Hopefully, this one is going to be all right. I'm not going to take any more breaks. Right, I see here on my screen that the microphone is working. But there is no other way that I can check unless you guys let me know. And I don't want to start rambling again without you hearing me, because you are here for my rambling. So two, three viewers. I'm seeing 3 viewers who joined, but I'm not seeing anyone in the comments. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start. I'm going to carry on reading. Hi, Jane Queen. Oh, Jane Queen. Can you hear me? Great, great. So I have confirmation, so I can carry on reading. Sadly, I won't be able to share my screen with you because I'm using the YouTube's own streaming software and it doesn't give me that option. But I'm going to carry on reading, and this time the date is 11th of September 2008. And I need to give credit again, thanks to Ines for translation. The 140 pages of the diary of Madeline's mother, Kate, considered vital by the PJ for the investigation of the case, reflect a woman obsessed by her children's sleep, as well as an extreme concern to place the blame on Murat and by what she describes as sloppiness on the part of the Portuguese and British police. 4th of May barely Having slept, I woke Amanda. Jerry and I began to search the streets at 6 in the morning when dawn began to break. We didn't find anything. I'm desperate. This is one of the notes from Case Journal. These are the first words that Kate wrote in her diary. This is the Portuguese translation of this diary that is not included in the case, which Maddie's mother began to write upon the suggestion of Philomena Mccann, also following the advice of a psychologist. Almost 140 pages in which Kate addresses Maddie with sentences such as, "We have to keep looking, we have to find you, sweetheart, I love you, Madeline." An essential document in the police's view in order to define Kate's profile as a mother. Analyzed by police psychologists, the different sentences of the diary show the facet of a caring and patient mother that contrast with other notes that reflect what the officers define as Kate's other face. The mother, extremely exhausted by caring for 3 children whom she daily takes to the Ocean Club crash before and after the disappearance. A mother obsessed by her children's sleep noted in expressions such as these. Sean slept with us for most of the night after half an hour of hysteria at 12:30. Or on another page, I tried to take Sean and Emily to bed at 9:30, but it became very late again, especially with Emily. A week later, she notes in her diary, Sean and Emily's biological clocks have altered. They go to bed later and get up later. They seem to have become Portuguese. The investigators are surprised that Maddie's mother writes details such as this. Sean and Emily in their beds with blankets after the confusion of the last 7 days. Why this obsession with the time and the way of getting the children to sleep? Why does Kate know the detail of the blankets? There are some of the investigators' questions. Details from a diary which indicates Gordon Brown's phone calls and which also reflects other obsessions, such as the extreme concern to place the blame on Murat and what she describes as sloppiness, not only on the part of the Portuguese, but also the British police, whom she accuses of committing errors that eliminate some of the evidence of the investigation. And like I said in my previous life, the diary's contents were never admitted as evidence. This one is another article by Daniel Sanderson from 13th of September 2008. And the headline reads, "Today we reveal the secret diary of agonized mom Kate Mccann, penned over months as she and husband Jerry struggled to deal with their daughter Madeline's abduction. Her words destroyed the litany of lies told by Portuguese cops to paint them as cold and calculating." Kate wrote, "I can't bear being without Madeline. It's like torture, a slow, painful death." For months, the Portuguese police leaked carefully selected extracts from Kate Mccann's secret diary, chosen to deliberately paint her and husband Jerry as the ice couple cold, dispassionate, and emotionless in the face of 3-year-old Madeline's abduction. Now, for the first time, the news of the world can fill in the blanks and nail those lies. The 135-page journal covering April 28, 2007 to Tuesday, July 31st, was passed to us by a reporter in Portugal appalled by the sickening smear campaign against the McCanns. Kate's log of the dark days after Madeline vanished from their holiday flat reveals the true picture of the tortured woman behind the calm, brave face she had to portray in public, as initial disbelief and numbness gave way to desperation and rage. And I might add, and also for all those lovely photo shoots. Often she includes touching messages of love to her missing daughter. It confirms the strength Kate drew from her devout Catholic faith and frankly admits the doubt the trauma forced her to face. And he carries on talking about the fateful day when Maddie went missing, May the 3rd, 2007. Kate recalls that it began much like any other day since the family arrived at the Mark Warner Ocean Club in Praia da Luz on Portugal's Algarve coast. One long, happy round of swimming, tennis, kids' clubs, games, and fun. But knowing what is about to befall them turns Kate's simple account of the children's evening bedtime routine into a tense drama. So it carries on with a bit of a timeline or routine, if you will. Thursday, May the 3rd. Milk and biscuits for the kids. I left them with this and books and games and went to have a quick shower, wash my hair. Madeline style, sitting on my lap. I read the story of Mog, favorite children's book. Brush teeth, to the bedroom with the kids. Em pulls away and puts her head on pillow. Kisses goodnight for Em being Madeline. Pull the door to as far as possible without shutting it. Silence. Dry hair, put makeup on, glass of wine, restaurant. During dinner nearby with friends, dubbed the Tapas 7, the group took turns to check the children. At 10 p.m., Kate discovers Madeline gone. The Mccanns and helpers frantically scour the area until 4 a.m. Friday, May the 4th. No sleep. Jerry and I started looking through the streets around 6 as it was starting to get light. Nobody around. Why not? Desperate. Minutes seem like hours. Outside of the apartment, masses of people asking questions about that night and for descriptions of Madeline. Long day. Then Kate, Jerry, and their 7 friends were taken to the PJ headquarters in nearby Portimao to give statements. Nobody from the police introduced themselves. Nobody offered us a drink or food. All the police dressed informally and smoking. No sympathy was shown and far from inspiring. I believe my statement would have been around 15 hour and such. They allowed Jerry to come in with me, but seated behind me. Translator present. The police officer who took us by car to the station was the one asking the questions and afterwards typed the answers on a typewriter. We left the police station around 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. After 15 minutes, we received a call from the PJ saying we had to go back, but they didn't tell us why. We turned around and flew back at around 200 kilometers an hour. Once again, frightening. Did they find her? Please, God, is she dead? Prayers. We arrived. They showed us a photo of a girl they'd forgotten to show us from the closed circuit TV footage. Not Madeline, devastating. Saturday, May the 12th, Madeline's birthday. Madeline is 4 years old. Day at resort with holiday group. Special mass for Madeline at the 6 in the evening in Praia da Luz. Monday, May 14th. I slept well last night after a not very good end of the day. Frustration with the Portuguese police family liaison officer asking me where would my little Madeline be. I got up at 6:50. I dealt with some trifles and got myself ready for the statement to the press at 8. I tried to put on a slightly more presentable and healthy air. Jerry again gave a great performance. She called it right. It was all a performance, wasn't it? Following on, we answered about 4 questions. I almost responded to the first one asking how we were, but I didn't. I did answer a question on our possible return home. I replied that obviously I didn't even think about that. Anyway, it seemed to have gone well. After breakfast and our having left Sean and Emily, then aged 2, we went to church to play in silence. Very good, calming. After getting back, I decided to go running for the first time since the day, already 11 days ago. I knew that it was going to be physically difficult, but I also knew that I wasn't going to give up because it was for Madeline and also because the level of pain is far higher now. No cameras or journalists, which was great. Oh, I'm wondering, was it really great? Because you were the ones arranging all those photo shoots. I went running towards the beach and then along it and again climbed that hill so steep without stopping. I carried the photo of Madeline in my hand to keep me going. On the last hill past the tennis courts, my legs completely weak, but I managed to keep myself walking. I managed to reach the apartment, then time to stop to think. I felt really quite calm. Wednesday, May 23rd. Gordon Brown, the Chancellor and Prime Minister in waiting, called and spoke with Jerry. Very kind and giving encouragement. Feeling a bit emotional afterwards. Saturday, May 26th. We went to an amusement park with the kids. Some phone calls, emails, etc. Not a very good day for either the two of us. Some dark thoughts, frustrations, desperation creeping in. Some tears. Then, in a moving little message to Madeline, I love you so much. XXX. Sunday, May 27. Clarence Mitchell spoke to us about a possible trip to the Vatican. It seems that it really is going to happen. Main story on the news. Spoke to Dad. I went for a walk on the beach with Sean and Emily. Frozen. Beach, slippery, wet feet. We all had dinner when we got back to the apartment. We have to keep looking. We have to find you, beloved. XXXXX. Wednesday, May 30th. After trip to see Pope, detailed above. The kids went to bed again around 9 p.m. Low point of tonight, becoming desperate without hope because of the lack of information. They are acting like they have no leads at all. Very worried. Tomorrow, it will be 4 weeks since Madeline was taken. 4 weeks since we saw our special little girl. We are not certain that we will ever see her again, but know that we have to keep up our hope and strength, for the others at least. Exhausted. I love you so much, Madeline. You must come back. X. Friday, June the 1st. Quite fed up. I can't stop thinking about Madeline, about her fear of pain. How can I go on knowing that her life could have ended like this? This week, I have been quite overtaken by black thoughts. Please, God, bring her back. Bedtime is becoming more and more of a challenge. Saturday, June the 2nd. I can't remember today, which is now yesterday. The morning was spent doing paperwork. I wrote a letter to J.K. Rowling asking for her help in keeping Madeline in the public eye. She has a new Harry Potter book which will come out in July. I asked if it would be possible to do something like a bookmark with Madeline on. An enjoyable afternoon. I never felt so relaxed. I felt it was wrong. Sean and Emily had fun, and that was important. I also worried about what people might think, like, how can they manage to? It seems that Sean is liking the beach more these days. We had tea in a nearby restaurant, good, despite still thinking that I had to do normal things without feeling guilty. We left around 7:30 p.m. and the kids were completely exhausted. Fed up again. Poor Madeline. Once again, it took a long time before Sean and Emily were sorted. Finally went to church for 10 minutes. Private worship, despairing. Cried again in bed. I can't avoid it. I need her close to me. Thinking about her fear of pain breaks my heart. Thinking about the pain makes me want to tear at my own skin. Of course, these people, like psychopaths, are normal human beings. I was never in favor of the death penalty, but these people should be kept in a secure place. I wouldn't even complain if he was in nice surroundings, but certainly in the case of PEDs, always distance from any type of contact with children. Sorry. Whose human rights are more important, those of a PED or of a vulnerable, defenseless child? Tuesday, 5th of June. Woke up relatively late again, around 7:30 a.m., with a good morning wake-up call from Sean and Emily. Adorable. I just wish it had been all three of them that came into the room. After a shower and breakfast, I took Sean and Emily to the kids' club. I asked if they could make birthday cards for their grandma and Jerry. Today is his birthday, but I had forgotten, which is not surprising. Thursday, June the 7th. The press conference went well. People are always asking how we are managing to cope, how we can manage to run a campaign as if we are strange because we are able to appear calm and controlled and aren't going under all the time. They know so little. Nobody should judge or criticize because unless they have already been in this situation, they have no idea how they would be and certainly no idea how painful it is. No idea at all. I love you so much, Madeline. XXXX. I can't bear this. I can't bear being without Madeline. It's like torture, a slow, painful death. I hope her suffering, if she's suffering, is much less. Please, God. Sunday, June 17. Cherry Blair, then the premier's wife, phoned to find out how we were. We talked about everything in general, including about them leaving number 10. She agreed as well to make a 20-second video clip for our broadcast on YouTube about Madeline and children who had disappeared. I also had the chance to speak to Tony, then Prime Minister, who told me that we weren't to hesitate to ask him if there was something he could do to help. On Sky News tonight, they suddenly said the Portuguese police had stated that the crime scene had been contaminated because of us and that fundamental evidence had been lost. How dare they insinuate that our daughter's life could be put in danger because of us? Very angry, very upset. I want to speak to someone now, but it's too late. I changed my mind and I sent a text message to Ricardo, Portuguese police family liaison officer. I don't know if it was a sensible idea, but I feel really annoyed. My darling little Madeline, you know that we wouldn't do anything to put you in danger. I love you very much and I am in agony right now. I only have to hope that God helps us all now and that He brings you back to us safe and sound very soon. I need you to come back, Madeline. You are the best thing in my life that has ever happened to me. XXXXX. I ended up feeling very upset. Everything overflowed, terrified that we might not get Madeline back. I simply cannot face that. Tears, despair, rage, helplessness. I spoke to Jerry, recited prayers. Please, God, bring her back. I fell asleep after 1 a.m. Monday, June 18. I spent a few lovely hours with Sean and Emily building a sandcastle with a moat, getting big hugs from Sean, ice creams, shower, lovely meal, and a little playtime with the kids. But as night closes, in Kate's anguish returns. I can't stand living like this. It's so painful and distressing. Dear Lord, please answer our prayers. Please send Madeline back to us. Please. I love you so, so much, Madeline, more than anything. 6 X's. Tuesday, June 19. Last night, I didn't manage to get to sleep until around 1 a.m. because I was so upset again. It's so painful to be without Madeline, and I can't stand to think that it could be like this forever. This simply cannot happen. Good night, Madeline. I'm longing to read your bedtime story again. I love you, my little darling X. Wednesday, June 20th. There is still no sign of Madeline. I didn't feel like it, so I decided not to go running. Went to pick up Jerry from the airport. It was so good to see him. Just before we reached the apartment, we saw a man lying in the middle of the street, so we stopped the car and got out. It was no surprise to see that he was drunk. We've all been there, but he recognized Jerry and me immediately. Jerry walked him around to his apartment. Thursday, June 21st. I went to the church around 9:20 p.m. to pray a bit by myself in peace. I got a bit annoyed. I don't understand why God doesn't answer my prayers. I think I need a sign of some sort. I miss her so much. It is so painful and I don't feel my life is complete and I won't ever feel it is complete if she doesn't come home. Jerry came down later on to be with me. Apart from a glass of wine, chocolate, and this diary, there's nothing much else to tell. I love you, Madeline. Good night. Good night. XXX. Friday, June 22nd. I miss Madeline loads, and that's a real understatement. Sometimes I think I must have done something so bad. Then Kate recalls the IVF treatment she needed to get pregnant. It was so difficult and painful trying to have Madeline, and now this. Why? Bad luck? A sick joke? And then I think I don't want to think about me. I'm an adult, but Madeline, dear, sweet, vulnerable, beautiful Madeline, and I just feel like screaming. Why? Dear Lord, I continue to ask, continue to hope, continue to try to have faith in you. Please help us. Put an end to this nightmare. Please help Madeline. Please, Lord. And there is another entry here which is titled Unbearable. Madeline, I love you with all my heart. You are part of my being, and I will never feel whole without you. I hope and pray for the day, hopefully soon, when we will be reunited and together again forever. I miss you so much. I need you. I love you. Saturday, June 23rd. I woke up after 7 a.m., hesitating again about going running, but eventually I built up enough enthusiasm to convince Jerry that we should go. He ran quite well, and without a doubt, it was worth us going. Will we see her again one day? How can this end well now? She's so precious. God, I need you to do something soon. I'm so desperate and suffering so much. This evening I felt quite low again. Is the awful uncertainty, helplessness, and worry. It's really unbearable. I only want to be able to hide or hibernate until this is all over and Madeline is back. Please make sure she's okay. The usual dinner, a few drinks, and emails. Good night, my darling. Longing to lie down. Sunday, June 24th. Oh, Madeline, I find the nights so difficult, and only God knows how things are going to find you. I just want to say once again that you have been the most special and amazing thing that ever happened to me. I've never felt such love for another person. I hope and I trust that God and Mary are protecting you, and I only know that Dad and I and all your wonderful family and friends will continue to search for you, and we all long for the day when you will be back with us again. Forever, XX. Good night, darling. I love you. Tuesday, June 26th. I went for a short walk to the shops nearby. I had heard that there was a pee there. Nice, isn't it? If people informed us about these criminals, of course, we'd be more cautious and we'd feel safer. Unfortunately, I read two books of messages that had been delivered. There were three horrible ones. One from a former Met police officer, very insensitive, cruel, and far from constructive. Another said, Rip Maddie. How appalling. Well, not surprisingly, I was very upset and I went out to the rocks on the beach. I cried a lot and spoke to Madeline and to God. I was still not ready to go, but Jerry was calling me. The police had arrived as planned at the apartment. I calmed down and went to the meeting with the police. Everything seems to be so slow. We finished at around 7 p.m., so I went to be with the kids and tell them bedtime stories. I had dinner, had a few drinks, despite having said I wanted it without alcohol. We talked some more. My darling Madeline, I feel such fear and dread when I think of you. Every day and every night is too much. I can only have hope and trust in God and Mary to look after you and bring you back to us soon. I'm so sorry if I will let you down. I hope you know how fond of you we are and that we would never do anything intentionally that would put you in danger of any kind. You are so precious to me. You make me so happy and I miss you so much. Please, God, please, Mary, keep watch over our sweet Madeline. Keep her safe and sound and bring her back to us soon. XX. Does this feel to you guys like she wrote this in her diary, expecting that someone is going to read it? Monday, July the 2nd, the day the Mccanns had to move from the Ocean Club apartment to a rented house. I started to put everything in the suitcases, and then I took Sean and Emily to the kids club around 9:20, and then I came back to pack the cases. We moved everything to the house around 10:30. Although now I think that it is a good thing to move to the house with a bit more privacy. Everything feels wrong and painful without Madeline. I cannot believe that this has happened. She's so loving, and I desperately want her back. Sean and Emily appeared very excited about the new house, especially with regard to their room. After lunch on the terrace, Jerry filled the jacuzzi with cold water and the children enjoyed themselves immensely in their swimming pool. I went to look for Chinese food for four. Oh dear Madeline, where are you? Are you nearby? Please keep well and be strong, my little one. We are desperate to find you. We love you very much. You are so special. I long to give you the biggest hug in the world. I miss you so much. I love you so much, my dear Madeline. Thursday, July the 5th. I got up at 7:15. Jerry went for a run. Nothing is or will be as good again without Madeline. I'm thinking about you a lot, dearest Madeline. I'm praying a lot so that we find you soon, alive and unharmed. Stay strong. You know that we all love you very, 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 very much. Friday, July the 6th, the day a man was arrested in Holland for a cruel hoax intended to extort £1.3 million from the Mccanns in return for details of the kidnappers and Madeline's location. I wrote my emails and finished our statement for when the story broke about the Dutchman's extortion near lunchtime. He is 39, unemployed, says that he was bored and wanted to play with our emotions. Bastard. David Miliband, the new foreign secretary, phoned Jerry to offer support. Saturday, July the 7th. We had breakfast and got the children ready as usual. At 10:30, the four of us went to the Algarve shopping center. The plan was to buy sandals and some other things for the children. However, the journey was a disaster. We had to stop 3 times on the way there since Sean and Emily were crying alternately. I began to feel that it had been a wasted day, even though Sean and Emily had some good goes in Noddy's car and Papa's boat. The return journey was slightly more bearable. I had a moment while we were having lunch. I saw a woman who looked pregnant, and I began to think about when I was pregnant with Sean and Emily, and then it hit me. Kate then remembers a touching scene from the past. Madeline was coming to visit us later that evening, the look of wonder on her face, and afterwards she got in beside me in bed. She was and is so adorable, a real jewel, a real gift, and I painfully miss her. At around 18, went to church. It was good. There was nobody else there. Later, Jerry turned up and joined me, and we went down as far as the rocks on the beach and talked a little about Madeline. But I began to feel slightly pessimistic and fearful. Please, my God, prove to us that we are not wrong. But I was feeling worse. Please, my God, let this have a happy ending. I have been thinking a lot about you today, Madeline. I'm so worried and frightened for you. I can only hope that God has you in his hands and brings you back to us soon. Please, my God, help us. Help Madeline. We love her and we need her so much, and she loves us and needs us. Please, please, please make it so that we have some good news soon. Good night, darling. I love you. Thursday, July 12. I hate the person who took my Madeline, the same one who has caused all this trouble, who made us feel worthless and mistrustful, and mainly who has frightened my beautiful Madeline. I will never forgive that person, those people for this. Never. Today, I washed the cuddle cat, Madeline's favorite soft toy and a constant comfort to heartbroken Kate. I was hoping not to have to do it until Madeline returns, but it was now quite dry, but it was now quite dirty and smelly, unfortunately without the smell of Madeline on it. Tuesday, July 17. Finding it very difficult to talk to people from home unless they are directly involved. It is difficult to show an interest in other people's lives and children at the moment. I know it sounds horrible, selfish, and egocentric, but at the moment I can only think about Madeline. I don't want to hear about anyone having babies or getting pregnant, mainly because it was also very difficult for us. I'm worried about turning into a bitter, angry woman. That would be horrible. Please, God, bring Madeline back and let this nightmare end. Please don't let our lives be destroyed by this. Please don't let them hurt Madeline. Earlier today, I found Emily in our room looking at photos of Madeline, and she said, I miss my sister. Where's my sister? I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize Emily's vocabulary and use of words was so good. I just said, I miss her too. We'll find her soon. What a little sweetheart. She then turned her attention to something else. We took turns jumping into the water with the kids, which was great fun. After a DVD and a story, it was the twins' bedtime, which didn't take too long tonight. Madeline, we are all with you, darling. Keep strong, be patient. We'll keep on going till we find you. I love you so, so much. We hope and pray we'll see you soon. Wednesday, July 18. It was suggested that Madeline is dead and buried in an area close to the beach behind the cliff. What can I say? I feel my body is on the verge of collapse. How much pain and emotion can one body take? I had a bad afternoon. I was very worried, desperate, extremely on edge. I don't think I can take any more of this. I really can't. How much longer will this suffering go on? I need Madeline alive. Saturday, July 21st. I continue to feel very low. I miss Madeline so much. It's as if a ray of light has disappeared from my life. There's no doubt that Madeline is that ray, and I miss her more than words can say. We just wrote our blogs, diaries. Once again, those dark thoughts returned, linked with feelings of anxiety, fear, and worry. How much longer will we have to cope with this pain? My poor, poor Madeline. Why, Lord? My heart aches with so much love for you, Madeline. I just hate being without you. Kate then relieves the last time they saw Madeline in the Ocean Club apartment. Now, did you notice that this article from News of the World has only the positive entries in case diary, and they are the ones, kind of accusing the PJ that they leaked only the negative things from case diary, and yet as a contrast, News of the World has only the positive sides from case diary. Okay, let me carry on. If I could go back in time, I would. I have clear recollections of that night. You were so tired. After your bath, you sat on my knee and put my wedding ring on your finger. We, me, you, Sean, and Emily, read Mog in the living area, and then, if you're happy and you know it, we all sat down on your bed. Then you counted the squares on the last page. You are always counting things on pages, always laying your head on your pillow at the same time every night. Madeline, you make me so happy. I just want you home. I love you so much. Monday, July 23rd. I got up at 7 and went running. I was surrounded by a pack of dogs, more or less 12. It really wasn't a nice experience. I went to the flat, high part of the cliff. I went to the flat, high part of the cliff as I felt really alone and a little frightened. Please, God, don't let Madeline be buried here. Please, God, make sure she's alive. Please, God, bring her back quickly to us. I took Sean and Emily to the kids' club at 9:45. Then I went to church to pray a little on my own. Every single moment of happiness with Sean and Emily, who are both so delightful, is mixed with deep sadness. All I want is Madeline to be safe and happy again. Baths, stories, and some bedtime chaos from Sean and Emily before I finally put them to bed at 21:15. I spent some time on the internet reading about Sarah Payne, Elise Smart, and the Peter Voicy case. Really horrible. Night, night, sweetheart. I'm trying to be positive. I need to, because I need to believe that you're going to come back to me so I can go back to being truly happy. I love you. Tuesday, July 24th. Sean and Emily had lots of fun in the jacuzzi. Laughter galore. Carrot sticks and crisps were had by all at tea time. Oh, darling Madeline, it pains me to think of you. It causes me such sorrow, and I have no idea how you feel. I pray to God that you are well, that you are not hurt. I pray that God keeps you safe and sound, and that you are not afraid nor in pain. Please, God, answer my prayers, and please, please, please bring Madeline back to us very soon for our own happiness. Please, God. Madeline, sweetheart, I love you so much. I can't stop saying it. Night, night, darling. We will keep hoping and having faith in God. Wednesday, July 25th. I received some bad news last night. A friend has breast cancer and has just received her first dose of chemotherapy following surgery. Horrible. I will include her in my prayers. At around 15:30, I went for a run. I have begun to feel restless and worried about Madeline. It was hot and hard work, but I felt better for having gone. We returned at around 18:15, the children's dinner and baths, our dinner, and the children's once again. Madeline, sweetheart, you are the most important thing, the only thing that matters. Words cannot describe how I feel about you, nor how restless, tormented, alone, sad, and incomplete I feel. I will continue to hope and pray that you come back to us soon, but I don't want to think about how good it would be to feel something like that. Not yet, at least. I love you so, so much, darling. I remember sitting watching you through the glass window when you were having your swimming lessons on a Saturday morning. There you were with your yellow swimsuit, ever so pretty, and you were smiling and waving at me, and the tears rolled down my face. I was and am still so proud of you, Madeline, and my love for you is never ending. I can't stop saying how much I love you dearly. I'm going to try and stay strong for you, and you have to do the same. You know we love you, and we are going to keep going until we find you again. Saturday, July 28th. I got up at 7:30 after a late and disturbed night of sleep. At around 16:20, we had a dip in the jacuzzi. Sean and Emily loved it. After tea, I went to the small church. I was a little tearful. It's really hard for me not to worry about the small things. I wonder, does anyone brush her teeth? She looks so happy in that photo taken on that last day. I know I'm repeating myself, but I can't stop myself from saying how much I love you, Madeline. I'll say it as many times as I need to. You are so, so special. Tuesday, July 31st. The day before police seized the diary. I got up early after another late and very disturbed night. I dropped by the church. I feel better after these short conversations. I cooked my first meal since they took Madeline for dinner tonight. Please God, make me right. Please God, protect her. Please God, bring her back to us soon. Night, night, Madeline, my dearest little angel, my sweetheart, my darling, my love, my companion. I love you more than anything. Lots of hugs, my darling. I'm going to dream that I'm lying by your side, moments I'll always cherish and I long to have again. Sweet dreams, my little one. Be strong, mommy. The next bit talks about the Pope, and it says here Catholic Kate's nerves were on edge as she and Jerry prepared to meet the Pope at the Vatican on May 30th. On May 28th, she wrote, I felt somewhat concerned. This is going to be a little too much. I only want Madeline back and to return to our normal life. 2 days later, her diary recalls Pope Benedict the 16th arrived in his Pope mobile, waving to everyone. It immediately became clear that he recognized us. He took hold of our hands and he was so gentle, so sincere. I thanked him for having allowed us to be there with him. He said he would pray for us and that he would continue to pray for Madeline and for her safe return. I gave him the photo of Madeline. He blessed it with a thumb, something that he would be able to keep forever. A shy man, but very friendly, very emotional, very positive, very important, charming. Please, God, bring back to us little Madeline. We love her so much and we miss her so much. Please, Lord, help us to be united once again shortly as a family. Later on, Clarence told me that before that meeting, the Pope, a butterfly had flown above and had landed on the bow on my hair. Why was that necessary to be added in the diary? It's so strange. Following on, he left, but he came back and landed on my lapel. An omen, we hope. So we move on now to, it seems, an article from The Independent on 10th of September 2007. Amanda would appear. So the question is, who is Amanda in Kate's diary? Amanda would appear to be a friend of Kate's from the Rothley area referenced in the Independent article of 10th of September 2007. At the Mccann's house, there were friends on hand to help them pass what must already seem like endless hours and deal with the enormity of what they have experienced. It's just good to have them back, said one friend, Amanda. We are going to rally round as much as we can, and whatever Kate and Jerry need will be there for them. And here is another article from the Daily Mail by Daily Mail reporter, last updated on 14th of September 2008. Again, talks about the diary. Kate Mccann's deepest thoughts had been laid bare in a private journal documenting her darkest days following the disappearance of daughter Madeline. Bleak thoughts of PEDs, frustration at the Portuguese police, and the daily struggle to keep the rest of her family together are just some of the frank and painful admissions penned between April and July 2007. The secret diary reveals for the first time the depth of personal despair and heartbreak faced by Kate and Jerry, and the strength their Catholic faith has given them. At the height of the smear campaign against the Mccanns, Portuguese investigators made extracts from Kate's diary public, deliberately selected in a bid to portray the couple as cold and dispassionate. However, the full context of the journal has now been revealed in the news of the world. The diary starts with Madeline is still with the family, detailing the ordinary routine of family life. Now, if you remember, Kate and Jerry Mccann, they actually made a deal with the British press that there shouldn't be any negative comments about them. And for this deal, they accepted for the British media to take photos of them for photo shoots and stuff like that. So you won't be finding any kind of negative comments about the McCanns from British media. Okay, so I'm not going to read this article because it basically repeats what I've already read from her diary. And let me see what else I can read for you here. Just give me a second, guys. I'm reading here because a lot of these articles are repeating themselves. So I don't want to keep on reading the same thing over and over. So I'm reading to see if there is anything else. Okay, we have another news article here titled Kate Mccann Furious at Publication of Diary in Sunday Tabloid Daily Mirror. This article is by Rod Chater on the 19th of September 2008. Kate Mccann was last night said to be devastated by the unauthorized publication of her diary in a downmarket Sunday newspaper. Her diary was seized and photocopied by Portuguese police 3 months after Madeline vanished. Extracts appeared in the paper without Kate or hubby Jerry's prior knowledge or permission last weekend. A pal said last night, Kate is angry and upset. She is furious her innermost feelings have been revealed. Worse still, it looks as if she has consented. Because of its sensitive nature, the material was not included in 19 files made public by prosecutors. The friend added, the suspicion is these diaries have been leaked by someone in the Portuguese authorities. Lawyers for the McCanns are thought to be demanding an apology and payout for the Find Madeline Fund. The McCanns will not comment. Sorry. And now it's unraveling all the stuff with the media, the British media, and how they are reaching agreements and stuff like that. Okay, so this is another article. Kate Mccann, An Apology, The Sun, published on 19th of September 2008. The article headed Kate's Secret Diary Revealed, which we ran this week, stated that Kate Mccann had released entries from her diary to the news of the world. This is incorrect. The extracts from Kate's diary were published by the News of the World in the mistaken, albeit bona fide belief that they had her permission to do so, whereas Kate neither approved of nor knew that the extracts were to be published. We sincerely apologize to Kate for our error and for the distress caused by it. And we carry on with the next article, this time from News of the World. Kate Mccann Apology, 20th of September 2008. Last week, we published extracts from Kate Mccann's diaries and explained in the article that we were doing so to nail the lies about Kate created by selective leaking from the diaries by Portuguese police. We published the extracts in the belief held in good faith that we had Kate's permission to do so. It is now clear that our belief was misplaced and that, in fact, Kate neither approved of nor knew that the extracts were to be published. Upon learning of our error, we immediately removed the extracts from our website, and we today offer Kate our immediate and sincere apologies. We have agreed to make a donation to be used in the search for Madeline. The News of the World remain wholly supportive of the Mccanns and their continuing campaign to find their daughter. Now remember, News of the World, Rupert Murdoch. Let's not forget. And we carry on with more apologies from the media. This time is coming from Sky News. Paper's apology over Kate's diary. Sunday, 21st of September 2008. The News of the World has apologized to Kate Mccann for publishing extracts of her diary without her permission. The Sunday tabloid also said he had made the donation to the fund set up to find her missing daughter. Last week's edition devoted the lead story and 4 other pages to revealing the 40-year-old's black thoughts and her dreams of lying beside Madeline again. Extracts were printed after the diary was seized and then leaked by Portuguese detectives investigating the 3-year-old's disappearance in Praia da Luz on May 3rd last year. The paper's 6-paragraph apology on the second page of this week's edition says, "We published the extracts in the belief held in good faith that we had Kate's permission to do so. It's now clear that our belief was misplaced and that in fact Kate neither approved of nor knew the extracts were to be published." A spokesman for the Mccanns was unavailable for comment when contacted by Sky News Online. The size of the donation to the Find Madeline Fund is not known, but it is not the first time a newspaper has apologized to the little girl's parents. The Mccanns won a £550,000 libel settlement and apology from Express newspapers for suggesting they were responsible for Madeline's death. The Daily Express and Daily Star both carried front-page apologies with the headline, "Kate and Jerry Mccann, sorry." It kind of smells like Clarence Mitchell here, doesn't it? It smells fishy, you know. When it smells fishy, it really is fishy. And this Clarence Mitchell guy, I can't find the word now because it's too late and my brain is not working properly anymore. And I don't know. Oh, yes. And now we have the entries in the diary for the 4th of May, 2009. This is by Duarte Levi, translated by Nigel Moore, with thanks to Astro. Kate's diary is one of the most curious pieces of a puzzle that the men of the PJ tried to reconstruct in order to establish the facts surrounding the disappearance of Madeline. The report of the first days spent in Praia da Luz was written after the event and reports a kind of agenda detailing what the Mccanns and their friends allegedly did. What is curious to me with all of these diary entries and all of this timeline and all of these hours and whatever they did throughout the days, where do you see a normal family going on holiday and writing everything down when they are on holiday? Like what time they went to bed, what time they woke up, what they had for breakfast, what the kids were having tantrums. I don't know. Do you go on holiday to write down all your timeline of what's been on holiday? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. 2 years later, day by day, it is interesting to compare Kate's report with what is known in the process, an exercise that reveals contradictions and surprises in its content. So, Saturday, 28th of 4th, January, February, March, April, 28th of April, 2007, arrival at the Ocean Club at 3 o'clock, apartment 5A, pool, swim with, meeting with MW officials and have a drink. MW officials, is that the company that they booked the holiday through? Restaurant Millennium with the kids, only night. Note, rest equal restaurant. Return walk, difficult for kids. Bad bath, bed early. Sunday, 29th of April 2007, breakfast at Millennium Restaurant. Morning kids club, 10 o'clock, morning talking over coffee. I went along to tennis, lunch sandwiches, F, balcony and Dave, kids club afternoon, seated in deck chairs, FAA. K and G run, as in Kate and Jerry run, beach at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, high tea, recreational area, restaurant, no Matt. Matt, I think that they are referring to their friend Matthew who didn't go at the restaurant. And I really wish I would be able to show you these entries because it's just so weird, so weird. I can't imagine that someone goes on holiday and writes all of these things down. Seriously. Hey JD, how are you? Oh, I haven't seen you for ages. I know. I know. It's been ages and ages. And it seems that you are still my moderator. Yeah, according to, yep, you are still my moderator. How have you been doing? Okay, let's move on to Monday, 30th of April 2007. Breakfast, apartment cleaning, kids club, tennis from 9:15 to 10:15, Kate. Jerry, 10:15 to 11:15, then washing machine, blinds, lunch, our apartment, then balcony F, and Dave. Kids club, beach. 4 o'clock, Kate run 25 minutes. 4:30, tennis lessons, high tea. 6:30, tennis night for women, recreational area. Afternoon, Kate and Jerry supermarket. Restaurant, everyone. Tuesday, 1st of May, 2007, holiday, breakfast apartment, kids club, mini tennis. 9:15, 10:15, Kate. 10:15, 11:15, Jerry. Madeline and Ella. And get camera, lunch, apartment. Rain, beach, sunglasses, ice cream. 1:30 to 3-ish. Kids club, 3:15. Time not so good. Jerry tennis lessons okay. High tea, 16:30. Recreational area. Restaurant, object tennis. No Russell. Evie felt ill. 5D, Russ remained in apartment. Food was brought up. Wednesday, 2nd of May, 2007. Breakfast, apartment cleaning, rain, kids club, tennis, postponed, wet courts, Millennium, Kate and Jerry meet F, D, and D. 11:30, Kate run with Matt. 40 minutes, get kids, lunch, apartment, recreational area, kids club. Jerry tennis, 2:30, 3:30, Kate, 3:30, 4:30, tennis lesson. Jerry tennis lesson, 4:30. Launching, speed, object tennis, high tea, recreational area. Restaurant, no Rachel, 5B, apartment next door. Slightly later bedtime, 24, to bar after dinner. Thursday, 3rd of May 2007, the day of the disappearance. Breakfast, apartment, comment, Madeline, where were you? Was I when me and... Okay, I'll read this again. Comment, Madeline, where were you when me and Sean cried? Kids club time, check registration. 9:30 to 12:30. Sailing beach, wash, Madeline's top of pajamas, big stain. Lunch, apartment, tea, tennis lesson, 9:15 to 10:15. Conversation on the grass with Russell and Nigel, the video camera. Kate get Madeline, Jay and Fiona, then pick up Sean and Emily. Meeting there with Jerry. Recreational area, okay. Afternoon kids club, a bit later. Kate, Ella already there. Swimming, indoors pool. Kate and Jerry practice tennis, then lesson, and coach Dan. 15:30, 14:30, Julian appeared, continued to play with Jerry. I went to run on the beach. Rest of the group are on the beach. Jerry went to meet the kids for high tea at Tapas. I joined them after running. 5:20 to 5:30 p.m. Madeline is very tired and quiet. Since Ella was taken from the kids club to the beach, I was a little worried that she was sad to have been alone, not realize that the group had gone to the beach. She said she was fine. She asked me to pick her up and said she was tired. I picked her up and carried her to the apartment with Jerry and Sean and Emily. Prepared bath as kids tired and men's tennis night at 6. I considered returning to the recreation area with the kids, but decided to stay in the apartment after bath and hair wash. Jerry men's tennis night. Pajamas, biscuits and milk for the kids, left them with this and books and games, and went to take a quick bath, wash my hair. I got out of the bath and David was knocking on the patio doors. I wrapped myself in a towel and went into the living room. He asked if we wanted to go to the recreational area since he could help me take the kids. Refused since kids ready for bed. I dressed myself, ate some snacks with the kids. Madeline is tired, sitting on my lap, read story of Mog. Brush teeth, to bedroom with kids. Jerry there too, I think. Children's music. Madeline telling story. Madeline removes and lowers head on pillow. Goodnight kisses for Madeline. So it's written here, so Sean and Emily, and then that's crossed out, and then goodnight kisses for Madeline. From Sean and Emily, cuts times 2. Kate gave a goodnight kiss to Madeline. Leaned the door as much as possible without closing it. Silence, dry hair, makeup, glass of wine. 8:35, restaurant, first to arrive. 9 o'clock, Jerry, conversation with Steve. 9:30, Matt, Caroline. Note, Caroline is a witness who says she heard someone calling Madeline's name around 9:30 as she walked back to her apartment. 10 o'clock myself, 20:40 Jane next, 20:45 Matt and Rachel. Russell detained, Evie feeling sick, R went for a long time, Jane replaced him. The last bit that there is left on here to read is something undated at the Hilton in Berlin. I'm guessing it's the Hilton Hotel. And I'm guessing that this is again something from Kate's notes. Yeah, it's still from the diary. Okay. It says, scared, wants to return. Fears for her fear. Reality suddenly binds. Never loved anyone this much. Note, this is written in the third person, as in he, she never loved anyone this much. Never again able to be completely happy, enjoy something. I'm sorry to be asking some of these questions, but I'm sure you will understand that our despair, particularly given the lack of information and resulting helplessness, may be somewhat mitigated if it gains some trust. The following people were heard: teachers and all other officers of the school across the street from our apartment, all staff working in the Ocean Club Tapas Bar restaurant. The reward that was offered without our knowledge. How is the information from countries other than Portugal and the United Kingdom being processed? Is it being handled by local police forces in their countries of origin and then passed on to you? Is there a route for this information? Was significant data collected by experts in mobile phone communications? Inquiries: school okay, tapas restaurant okay, child maintenance okay, Yvonne Warren not that I know of, Robert Murat evidence, forensic results, why still under strong suspicion if forensic results were negative? Info relative to Madeline, no. Reward okay, route for information from other countries. And with this, I finished reading everything. It's just a footnote here. Translation from English original to Portuguese. The responsibility of the area of documentation and translation of the Policia Judiciaria. With thanks to Nigel at Mccann Files. And that's it, guys. That's all with the diary thing. So how do we feel about it? Now this is the second live. Yeah, like I said, I was having issues with the first one because I'm always having issues with lives for some reason. It's not meant to be. and the end. Hi Ravi, thank you for joining. I am really, really sorry, guys, that I wasn't able to share my screen with you so you can see where I'm reading from. But how about I give you the link here in the chat, and if you want to have a look yourself as well, there are more links here, not just these, but this is what I was looking at before doing this live. So if you guys are interested in, reading it for yourself, here is the link. And there's much more information there. So this is not the only bit. But I'm going to go through more of this website, and I'll look again in the PJ files, and I'll see what I'll do in the next live. Whenever that is. I don't know when that is. It's very surprising that I was actually able to schedule this live in advance, because usually I just go on live without any notice. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here and staying with me. JD, thanks. Ravi, thanks. And thank you to everybody else who is watching. And I guess I'll see you in the next live, whenever that is. I'm hoping that I'll be able to schedule it so I can give you a bit of notice for when to join. Please let me know, guys, in the comments, what do you think about this diary, about all these entries. Good night, everyone. Bye.